Hi, I'm AC Brown, psychic channel, spiritual guide, and voice of truth. In today's video, I want to talk about astrology versus numerology. Now, many of you may be thinking they are not the same and they are vastly different, but it is my belief that they go hand in hand. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because I wanted to explain how they do work together in tandem to help you elevate and stay in alignment with your truth and your destiny. So yes, astrology and numerology are two different subjects. Astrology is about planets and movement of the planets and stars and conjunctions and transits and all of those things and their influence to our day-to-day lives. And then you have numerology, which is the study of numbers. However, those numbers are really important to the energetics of our lives. So what are they used for? First things first, astrology, some people may believe that astrology doesn't work. We all know it does. Astrology is ancient. Astrology is very accurate when planning for your future. Astrology looks at the celestial bodies in the planets from your natal chart to transits and other progressions, and it gives you an idea and some solid information on what is going to happen in the days coming, the weeks, the months, etc. And then numerology, some people believe that it's either just some made up thing, they have a superstition about it. However, I disagree. I believe that they both have a place and space in our lives that helps us out tremendously. So when we talk about astrology and we talk about astrology predicting future events and movements of planets and celestial bodies, we also know that astrology in our natal charts, we have what everybody calls the big three. The big three is your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. The sun, the moon, and the rising are extremely important to the aspects of what makes you who you are. Your sun sign can be considered sort of the basic you, and not in a bad way, but the sun sign is yourself, the ego version of you. It is the version of yourself that people will get to know and understand as they really see who you are and really get to know you, who you are. Your moon sign is your energetic, emotional component, how you think emotionally, what hurts you, what matters to you, those type of things. Then you have your rising sign. Your rising sign is one of the most important signs in your natal chart. And your rising sign, unfortunately, you can only find it through knowing your accurate birth time. There are people out there who are able to assist you with that if you don't know your birth time. But the reason why your rising sign is so important when it comes to your astrology and your natal chart is because it is the first thing people see. It is the vehicle that your soul chose to travel in this lifetime. It's the outer appearance. It's also your front-facing personality or your representative. So there's a saying, oh, you're meeting someone's representative and then you get to know them. That's how it works with the sun, moon, and rising. People meet your rising sign first. And then when they get to know you, that's when they meet your moon sign and your sun sign. Now, there are other planets that are very, very important. How you communicate, which is your Mercury. How you love, which is your Venus. Your expansion, your Jupiter, your Saturn, your Neptune. All of those things are very important in the overall makeup of who you are. However, when we're thinking about astrology versus numerology, most people can talk about astrology from the big three perspective. Now, numerology focuses on numbers, your name. It focuses on where you live. Now, my belief is that numerology is very, very important. So how I like to think about it is that astrology tells you what's going to happen, numerology tells you the energy that is going to happen in. So in numerology, you have another big three as well. You have your life path or your life purpose number. You also have your birthday number, and then you have your personal year number. Now, in numerology, the life path number is the overall energy that your life is going to experience or have in this lifetime. For instance, I'm a life path 5. So that's adventure, changing things up. The 5 energy is about moving and shaking. Sometimes it's a little uncertain. And that life path number is the theme of my overall energy for my life. Then we have your birthday number. Your birthday number is another strong energy, and it gives you a lot of personality to who you are. And it says, hey, you are, let's say, a number 8 person. That means that you're a leader, someone who's born on the 17th of the month or the 8th of the month, that your birthday number is a number 8. And it's saying that you are strong, you are a leader, you are abundant, you go through life kind of with highs and lows, but you always overcome. So that's your birthday number. Then you have the piece de resistance, the personal year number. The personal year number on a day-to-day basis is probably, well, let me retract. You also have personal day numbers as well. But your personal year number is the overall theme of that year for you. Now, many numerologists believe that your personal year starts from January 1st to December 31st. I have different thoughts, views, and opinions about that, and I'll talk to you about that now. I believe that it goes from birthday to birthday. And the reason why I believe that is because when you get closer to your birthday, the energies of your personal year usually get activated. So I'm sure someone who's born either in November or December is asking, so what does that mean for me? So I like to say that the personal year energies overlap. So for instance, if your birthday is in March, like mine, then I say that my personal year starts in March. But prior to that, those January and February up into my birthday, I'm still experiencing the energy from the previous year. So if your birthday, say, for instance, in December, and let's say it's December 31st, now most numerologists would say that whole entire year, let's say you were in a personal year number 1. I do agree that you experience those energies of a personal year number 1, but going into the following year, I believe that you will experience both the personal year number 1 and the personal year number 2. Now, people will argue with me about that for sure, but that has been my experience just with my birthday in March, on how things either accelerate into that new personal year or for my birthday, or even my clients, how things accelerate in that personal year's theme once their birthday happens. Okay. So going back to astrology versus numerology, like I said before, astrology can predict the future. It can tell you what's going to happen. Even if you look at your astrology chart, you can pinpoint things and events that have probably already happened in your life based off of placements. And then numerology, what that does is it gives you the overall energy of that. Now, numerology is so important, especially when we talk about places to live or where you are moving to, street numbers, all of that. That energy really does show up. And I'll give you a little bit of an example. One of my neighbors, there's a apartment that is a few doors down from me. That is the number 6. That's what the numbers add up to, is 6. It never fails that people who, especially couples who move into that apartment, they break up. It never fails. I've been where I've been for a long time, and there have been 7 different couples who have lived in that apartment. And so that apartment number adds up to 6. 6 is the number of foundation. 6 is the number of responsibility. It is the number of work. It is the number of making sure that things are in order in the family, making sure that the foundation of relationships are solid. When they are not solid, things seem to fall apart. That also goes for a 6 personal year for you, as well as a 6 universal year. So every couple who has ever moved into that apartment who has not had a solid foundation has broken up. I've counted 7 and I haven't been here that long. So that's why I believe that numerology is just as important as astrology. So what do you do with this information now that you have it? You use them both hand in hand. You do not shy away from one or the other. You can start off really, really small and simple and utilize your personal year or your life path number in numerology to kind of keep you in alignment with what you're doing and who you are. So like I said, I'm a life path number 5. So many times I get stagnant or stale or in these places and spaces where I'm constantly doing the same thing. So I know that I need to shake that up, that my body needs to shake that up. So any life path number 5 people, you know that they like to travel, they like adventure. So whatever your life path number is, utilize that to make sure that your life is in alignment with that. When it comes to astrology, one of the big things that I want people to walk away is especially knowing your rising sign. And that's important because we all love horoscopes. We all love reading about ourselves. So when you read your horoscope, it's very important for you to make sure that you are reading your rising sign and not your sun sign. Because like I said, the rising sign is the front facing you. It's actually what's happening in the celestial bodies of the universe at that time. All of your transits, everything is going based upon your rising sign. So when there's Mercury retrograde, when, Saturn's retrograde, when all these other planets are doing these crazy things, or where the moon is at that particular time, you have to go by where your rising sign, because then the houses after the rising sign or the other houses that it's affecting. So when you read your horoscope from now on, make sure you read your rising sign. So I hope this video helped you with letting you know the difference between astrology versus numerology. I also have 2 amazing courses that break down both. I have Astrology Essentials and Numerology Essentials, and you can get them on acbrown.com. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.